pass this one around. This, of course, you all have seen the other rod. I want to make this tendon on the end. And I want to come down to be about 5/16 or so. First thing I got to do is upset it. I got to get a little bit more material in here. So we're going to upset the rod. And I've got a steel block right here. I don't like using the anvil. I like to get down where I can get to it. It'll be better for me. One of the things that I noticed that it seems to work for me, and Clay Spencer told me, was upsetting just the very end of something small. Don't get it so hot. A lot of people get it too hot, and you'll end up upsetting it where you don't want it to upset. And I really only want to upset just the end of it, just enough to give it a little bit of meat. You saw the end of it. It's just a little bit. It's not. It's probably 7/16 of an inch or so. Not a whole lot. These turn out to be a little more upset than the others because that's a longer rod and it's a little easier to do. This is about the temperature I want. You're welcome. Thank you. You're doing good, buddy. This takes about 3 or 4 times to get it to where I want it. I'm already starting going crooked, so I'm going to stop and take that little bend out because instead of upsetting, it's just going to bend. Right there at that bend. Again, that's all I need. That's it. Just a little bit. Now, one of the things you got to be smarter than this. Sometimes you don't want to slide that hand down that rod because it is warm down there. Get that bend down. One more time. Where I wanted it, it's about between 7/16 and a half inch on the end. Now I'm going to take some of that out and put the tendon, but you can see I got a little bit of a bend right there, but you can see it tapers out a little bit. And all I'm doing is giving it a little more meat at the top of that hole on that crossbar, so it rivets down a little better. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here and use this tool right here. This is a guillotine cutter. This is overkill, but I was on the red handrail project over John Campbell around the dining hall, and all those pickets are made out of 5/8 inch material, and this is something I had to have. These 2 pieces are made out of F7, and I had them heat treated. I've made several hundred pickets with it and never lost the edge on it. One reason I like F7 is shock and heat resistant, so when I get through with it, I just throw it on the ground. I want to mark it. I'm going to pinch off about 1/4 of an inch. Now I'm rotating my rod. Trying to keep those square edges on that guillotine cutter, the square edge on my rod that I'm cutting. Also trying to not go too deep. If you undercut a tendon and you start to rivet it, it breaks off. So I want to stop before I get too deep. That's all I'm going to do with that right there with that guillotine cutters, that part right here. Looks like a small dome or something there. Alright, now before this will go in my tendon tool, I got to heat it up and take this rounded part on the end down a little bit. For that I need a square edge on my anvil. If you don't have one, get you a piece of 4x4 heavy wall tubing and make you an anvil tool. put a tang on there for your harding, and you take one edge of it, make it into a knife edge where you can slap stuff up there. Works great for hot dog forks or anything like that, or gives you a square edge. I've got a flat square edge right here. I got the material off of the anvil. The only thing I'm doing is taking the very end and getting down a little bit where I can get it into my tendon tool. This is a tendon tool here. I got 3 different size holes. The hole that I want to end up with is this bottom one here, but I got to start off in the center one, and I'm not sure what the center one is on this one. I know this is 1/4 inch. It's a spring tool. I don't weld mine together, I bolt them. It can be used under the treadle hammer, it can be used on the anvil. Alright, hold that tool in there, hold it tight, and hold it right on the anvil. And get around over the edge. Dead center that anvil. And I'm rotating it around as I hit it. So I've started getting it around. Now, one of the things I got to be careful, I got it off center, so the next time I hit it, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to hit it right here and bring my tendon back to the center. Or I tell you what, let me have it, you hit it. I'll tell you what, you hit it.
Do me a favor. There's a little case inside the camera case. There's a 2 gig memory in there.
A little harder than that. A little harder. Go. Dead center. You're hitting over here. Hit dead center there. Right. There you go. 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 Go.
Appreciate it.
You feel it hit solid? Yeah. Stop. All right. And there's the tendon. I still got a nice square edge on this part up here where it'll fit on top of my crossbar pretty well. I've got just enough out there to rivet it over on my cross piece. And I got a little bit of a curve here, so I'm going to take that out. That end is basically done. Now I do not want to cool this end in the water, so until it gets a little colder, because I've got to come back and rivet that over. Seems to be fairly straight. I think it's cool enough now. I can go ahead and chill it down a little bit and work on the other end. Now the other end is just a slight taper. The only reason it's tapered so that it goes in that hole a little easier on that back piece. And I'm going to bend it somewhere around about 105 degrees. Just a little bit beyond 90. You'll have to give it that little bit of a hook where it'll hang in there when you... And that's, like I say, this is overkill. That's S7, but I wanted something to last a while. And I've had it now for 10 years, and I've never had to sharpen it. I took a piece of the S7 and cut it at an angle, and just turned them around. Then took it down and had it heat treated. I would heat treat it now myself. Brother Dave told me how to do it. Y'all don't know Brother Dave Smucker? Most of you should.
He's still in Brasstown?
Still in Brasstown. He'll be there the rest of his life. He has a fantastic shop facility up there at his house. It's probably as long as that building right there, and 50 foot wide, 2-story high. That's behind the house. The house is probably that big too. He's got a timber frame house.